not committing a foul.
Gustav, you talk about a determined drive, but guess who stayed home and blocked it? That was Day Ames with the deflection. And Rohde will set it up now for the Cavaliers. Saunders again. Rohde wide open. He sinks it from three-point land.
And you can't leave any of these.
That's how they're staying connected. It also feels like they can connect in this tournament, and said they are very dangerous indeed.
Moved it downstairs very nicely to Powell there for his second bucket. And he has 4 quick points. The Georgia Tech in the paint. Already a nice little advantage.
And that's an area of concern for Virginia. They gave up 42 points in the paint to Syracuse on Saturday and allowed the Orange to shoot 60% from the field. So one of the things Ron Sanchez wants to make sure he cleans up is with.
For Lucas Taylor.
Man, that was tough. Nice step back to the corner three. Just like Audrey drew it up.
And it's a 16-point lead for the Orange. Dominant in this first half.
Good move by Rohde. The double cross to the floater.
And he gets the finish as well.
Like they've had some plays where they've been somewhat successful, but for the most part.
Good pressure there. Full court pressure, and it pays off. Andrew Rohde.
It's those kind of plays which get you back into the game. Now some pressure by Florida State. A.J. Swinton, 19 in black in the game for Florida State. Young man from Cabin John, Maryland. A little more than 2 hours from Charlottesville. Rohde to 3. Buchanan got a piece, and Maluk there for the putback. Now Maluk and Nitu have stepped up big time in this opening half.
And with second chance opportunities, that's been a killer so far for the Cavaliers.
Now those two were combining for a little more than 4 points per game. Rohde, another 3. And Swinton with his 9th 3 of the season. Young man with Virginia ties, grandfather and cousin, attended UVA. AJ grew up on ACC basketball, had this game circled on his calendar for a long time. There's Rohde again. He scored 8 straight for. Injured his ankle in the North Carolina game. Did not play against Duke over the weekend, and now out again today.
But given the way Nitu and Maluk have played in his place, they haven't missed him at all.
Rohde over Nitu, and 1. For Ames.
And that's his 3rd three-point basket.
Now Florida State defensively has had a lot of lapses the last few games.
I see now you have that mismatch. It's Davis against Saunders.
Ames to Rohde, open, and cash. Retake the lead.
Again, with the shot clock running down, you expect Watkins to keep the ball. Davis, again, he's only a 26% three-point shooter in conference play. I'm not sure that's the play Leonard Hamilton wanted.
Ames has 16 to lead the Cavaliers. With 5, with 4. Buchanan. Rohde falling away.
So crafty. Chase Hunter high off the window and in.
And he's a dude. He's a closer.
And that's 1,700 points for Chase Hunter. What a career he has had at Clemson. 8th player to do it in Tigers history.
He's also a dad. He told me that it changed his life. I got to ask him, is Dylan being a good uncle helping babysit at times? He didn't have any trouble waking up out of bed shooting today, did he?
Now he's in a good rhythm right now for Virginia. This is as well as the Cavaliers have played all season, and they're doing it on a big stage against 13th ranked Clemson. Rohde inside. Cashes in on the and 1. Then Clemson back within 5, and they're amping up their defensive pressure here.
Cut the lead in half in just 2 possessions.
Well, you said it in the first half. When Clemson's playing their best, they're stringing together stops on the defensive end, and that leads to positivity on offense.
This is the strength of this team. It's on the defensive end of the floor. We're talking about how well Virginia's playing. They only have 37 points. Clemson's defense has been solid.
Rohde.
A lot of fun heading into the postseason.
Dabo is dialed in. March is here. Dabo's ready for the ride. Having some fun.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Big time Curry.
Cannot allow him to get to that right hand, driving to the basket.
40 points in the paint out of Clemson's 51. That has been the game plan since tip-off. Rohde up and in.
Level Sanders. Got Spillers a free bucket. That's something that'll show well on film.
McNeely, backdoor pass, finds Rohde for an easy. To being the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament, Wake Forest just hoping to be the 68th team in the field. Last team in, according to Joe Lunardi. And do you think that affects the way a team plays? Just play a little tighter when you know there's no...
I did not at all.
87% career, wow.
Yeah, he could play. He was a great one. Unbelievable human being.
Right now, Demon Deacon's trailing by 5. Rohde puts Hildreth on the floor. Wake Forest season. Come up empty on the opening possession. Virginia, don't let the score fool you. This was played at their tempo. They were just highly efficient. 63% from the field. That would be a season high. For as well as Virginia has played offensively tonight, only one made field goal in the last 6 minutes for the Cavaliers. Rohde, deep three, hits it!
Tim Fogarty and Trey Steins are officials, and Tim and Trey, second-generation referees.
Absolutely. Of course, our officials wearing the R.S. Hart badges for Trey's father, Ramey Stein. Hasn't spent much time on the court since then for Hubert Davis.
So Virginia with it. Under 3.5 left. They get it down deep for Rohde and an easy.
About this team, especially when things aren't going their way.
Powell with a misfire from the corner. Virginia dropping one earlier this week to the Duke Blue Devils, 80-62. And there's a 3 on target by.
The commonalities and everyone talks about is how hard Cooper Flagg plays. And Obi, that's been the case since he was in the 8th grade, the first time I ever had a chance to spend time with Cooper. And you see it on that possession. He's the fastest to the second jump.
Wow, look at this.
Wasn't able to get the bucket on that 3.
Yeah, talking about Robinson, the big freshman at 6'10", busted out for 15.7 rebounds in their big win against the Hokies on Saturday. On the drive, all the way through Rohde.
Basketball at the next level, I believe, would be awesome if he puts on the shoulder pads and the helmet.
He's got that physique.
He absolutely does, and he's got the mentality as well.
Looks like a linebacker. Saunders on the back down, out of the double. Here's Rohde, wide open.
I'm going to throw it up next time, but on the last possession, we saw Kamamawas bring the ball down early. Patrick Gumba keeps it high, gets it on the glass quickly, and ends up getting the goaltending call.
Yeah, good idea. 6'11", backed in by Rohde.
But also hiring the first African-American woman to serve as a athletic director in ACC history. So Virginia at the forefront of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And
down at the other end, and it's been a rough couple of games for Jaden Young, the sophomore out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. Just can't find that touch because he's a good shooter.
And his time has really dried up a little bit. He's been under 20 minutes a game during that stretch.
And there's Rohde.
as this half has gone along.
Dongo tries the other side of the rim, and it spills off.
He's missed some makeable shots inside. That was a good quick move, but he couldn't finish.
Dongo with 7 points so far for Georgia Tech. Nate George leading the way with 12. Powell's in the double digits with 10. That's Rohde.
Their bigs have been running the floor really well. Soiree and Dongo really getting up and down the middle of the court.
Third assist for George.
And they've got Rohde on Powell, which is an effort to keep a smaller guy and keep the three-point shot down on him, and he's forced to take a long one there.
Ames spins away. Rohde lays it in from a.
Shot clock is down to 7. The pull-up pop, and that'll clang away off target by Austin. It'll rattle free. Virginia will scoop it up on the hands of Rohde. He really thought about a way downtown three. Certainly very capable of hitting that. Zane Murray in, the 6'5 senior. Back off a long one, and that'll be nothing but net. Here's Graham hitting the deck. Austin will launch one up there. That won't drop.
But you see, OB, this is just a different Panther team. We watched them against North Carolina on this floor last week. A huge performance to get a win, as well as a huge performance from Zach Austin, who made 3 threes in that game, 3 of 5, but had a strong performance even on the defensive end. He hasn't been able to get going, as well as the guards haven't really been able to get too much on the offensive end of the floor tonight.
Shot clock down to 4. Rohde with a long one and nothing but net. Way down.
Kelly Flagg, Cooper's mom, told me that she actually liked Cooper's dunk against Kansas over Flory Badunga even more so than that. Myron and I, and we think that it's Ian Jackson's dunk. We think Ian Jackson's dunk was even higher as we get an opportunity to look at North Carolina season recap. We've been doing this throughout the game. 6-5 record in ACC play, and they lost 4 of their last 5. And this weekend, they'll have an opportunity for retribution against this Panthers team, who could be coming in very angry if they're unable to come back from this 14-point deficit.
Nearly with the kick out, Rohde on target. Right down to the very end.
Hayden Schutz got 16, one off his season and career high. He had 17 against Mark Prosser's Winthrop team early in the campaign this year for the Hokies.
Wesson, every time the Cavaliers look like they're crawling back in, Virginia Tech has had a response.
Rohde a 3. Got it.
First guarding is Hammond, and Hammond is a very poor three-point shooter. Really good job by Virginia Tech to get a mismatch with Lawal inside.
Here's Kofi for McNeely. It's an 8-point game, and the Cavaliers can't wait around. Rohde out of the corner, good. But nonetheless, the lead is 7. And here goes Rohde streaking to the basket. He'll lay it up and in. So Rohde front court. Working on shoot. Under a minute to go. Can't be dribbling a lot here. Got to get something up on the rack, and he does.
I mean, that was pretty good defense. Just better offense.
15 for Burton. The lead, its largest now, again at 14. Saunders. Now McNeely out front. Rohde tries to help. 3-ball from in front of the Notre Dame bench for Andrew Rohde.
Get all the way to the basket. He's much more athletic and mobile than you think.
Ames on the drive in attack mode. Kicks to the corner. Rohde a 3. Nothing but the.
He's a transfer as well. He scored more than 1,000 points in his career. He's an excellent rebounder. He was trying to beat McNeely off the dribble, and as you say, just drag his pivot foot.
Andrew Rohde on the drive, trying to spin his way free. Good defense, but a better buck. Taves. It did not drop.
Boston College taking tough shots.
Meanwhile, Virginia getting anything.
Marlin has the advantage on this end. Saunders the advantage on the other end. That's a great block out right there.
They've been letting McNeely handle the ball in the last few minutes. Rohde wide open in the corner, and he hits it.
A lot more baskets.
That's true. They only have 2 made baskets in 7 minutes of basketball, and yet they still control a 17-point lead.
Well, their defense has remained very good.
Rohde right to the rim for 2.
All 5 of their starters made it to the NCAA tournament a year ago, and in fact, Edwards and his James Madison team beat Chucky Hepburn's Wisconsin team in the first round, that 12-5 game. Edwards is the leading scorer for JMU in the upset with 14. Rohde inside over Hepburn, and it's back up to 20, which was the margin of victory 2 weeks ago in Charlottesville. That, by the way, was the first time Louisville had won in Charlottesville since 1990. As Rohde slashes one state, Joe Lenardi says right now the Big 12 would have 7, the ACC 5. Louisville 1 of the 5 with Duke, Carolina, Pitt, and Clemson. SMU in the next update. Of course, a million things can and will happen. 21-point game here. Louisville set to sweep Virginia this season.
Kofi for Rohde, deep 3. That won't drop. Kofi kept it alive into the hands of Buchanan. Second chance for Virginia. "12 straight misses from beyond the arc for Virginia." On the drive, the floater is good from Rohde.
Taken notice. There's a handful of them here in the building today. Blake's lost his footing. Tough shot. And here comes McNeely. Ooh, nobody picked him up. He'll dish to Rohde instead. Foul. Akbara. Saunders made it tough. Good defense. And now Ishan Sharma. Saunders wide open. McNeely. Rohde takes it inside the lane. It was a tough pass
for the freshman Jacob Kofi, who was last year's Washington Gatorade Player of the Year. Javon Blackshear the miss, and the rebound Andrew Rohde for Virginia. After hitting their first shot, Callis missed their last 5. And a defense for Virginia that's one of the tops in the country, 11th in the country in fewest points allowed, and 44th in defensive field goal percentage. And the leaner, Andrew Rohde, with the shot clock expiring.
Love it, forcing the ball downhill.
To the basket and driving in the layup, Andrew.
I think his assists have helped him get into the flow of the game, helped him build some confidence. That's a tough shot right there.
Largest lead for Cal. Andrew Rohde on the drive, using the window. And that'll take us to halftime. And Buck's really been controlling the paint at both ends of the floor.
Absolutely. The rebounding's been stellar. Rim protection is just such a big part of good defense.
And the roll, Andrew Rohde. Approaching 9 minutes to go. Open look at a 3. Jeremiah Wilkinson comes up short. And here comes Virginia and Andrew Rohde. Rohde attacks. Rohde flips it up and in as he was
figuring out what they can improve upon. You're not going to change everything in a couple days, but that's going to be something that they need to focus on.
They'll have a chore of trying to stop one of the top scorers and rebounders in the country. And Maxime Reynaud is Andrew Rohde with the...
Hasn't been a beautiful offensive game so far for either team, but I just continue to marvel every time I watch Virginia play how well they just stay in front of the basketball. They don't lunge out, they don't reach, they just focus on staying in front, staying on balance. If they make a tough shot like that,
if they hurry, Hadley drives right at Rohde. Hepburn's 3 rims out. Cardinals have missed their last 6. Virginia could tie or take the lead here with a 3. Good move by Rohde to the basket, and we're tied at 20. Hepburn hits them both. A 6-point lead for Louisville. Each team with 5 fouls with a minute and a half to play until halftime. Dede Ames back in for Virginia. It's Rohde up top for Kofi. Saunders working hard down low. Traore bodying him on the block. McNeely starting to heat up. Shot clock under 5. Rohde's got to create. Tough shot from the foul line.
Snake to everything you do.
On both ends of the floor, he goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Next foul will put Virginia in the bonus, but we're under 15 seconds to play until halftime. Shot clock is off. Rohde gets a screen. McNeely trying to get free. Rohde all the way to the basket, got free, slipped through 2 defenders. Just for James Scott, he's got 4. Louisville back to a 7-point lead.
No, but I think it's cool whenever players come back and want to be a part of the program and want to help. Both of those guys have homes here at Virginia and now moving it on to the next batch of players.
Rohde trying to answer from the far wing in front of the youth this afternoon by Louisville. That's what's coming up. 6 o'clock Eastern on the ACC network. Syracuse, Florida State. Louisville just over 2.5 minutes away from picking up win number 10 on the season.
And Donnie Freeman for Syracuse. This is a conference that has a lot of really talented freshmen. He's one of them. Good shot by Rohde.
On a nice drive to lay it in.
Of course, Dennis Parker Jr. wants to have a strong performance here. John Marshall High School, about an hour from here, Richmond, Virginia's alma mater of Jason Williford, associate head coach at the University of Virginia. So a lot of friends and family in the building, I'm sure, to see the little DP.
Man, there have been some great coaches in all sports. Nice play here by Andrew. Another second effort. O'Connell. No, that barely got there.
Virginia fortunate to be able to escape that possession without NC State scoring. 3 more looks at the rim with the offensive rebounding. But right now for Virginia, you want to try to find a way to get the basketball in the hands of Saunders or McNeely. Both those guys got it going right now.
Murray. O'Connell sticking with him. Here's Rohde. Got it! Shot he takes is contested and tough, but he makes it.
But I love the way this young man has grown up. Again, he didn't leave. He didn't walk away from it. He stuck with it, found himself in a situation where he would be a member of the rotation, and now playing huge minutes and making big shots for the Pack.
He made one there, 48-46. Murray zipping the pass for Rohde. Rohde wants the paint. Up and in it goes. This thing live from 3-point distance. Another one in tight by Huntley Hatfield. Give him 10.
Yeah, back-to-back buckets for Huntley Hatfield. But the issue for NC State is no longer what they do in the offensive end. Is can they stop Virginia? Ron Sanchez told us that he would like to see his team in the 70s as long as he can keep NC State in maybe the 50s or 60s.
Yes, that's the game plan today. Coming up on 6 minutes to go. Saunders. Got to get a shot in the air. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Rohde. Way
something they definitely have to address. They can't have this lull in the second half because this is winning time now. And they have to figure that out because right now America's not playing. They're coming out to win the game to go into the break with a W.
You can see the scoreless drought for Virginia pushing 5 minutes.
Uh-oh, he's open.
McNeely probing along the baseline. Sharma swings it out to Saunders. 3 to shoot. Rohde's got to let it fly. Got it. A huge shot.
You're okay with that if you're American.
Under 4 minutes left in regulation. Rohde off the crossover. A nice rhythm.
And there's a lot of things that this team is going through, the turnovers being one of them, that you can coach until you're blue in the face. Until these guys figure that out, it's been a struggle. So he's a good man, and he's been here a long time. And I think he'll get it going, but it's not an easy situation he stepped into.
Tyrese Hunter shooting at 52% from 3.
First of all, defensively, how do you leave him? I mean, you cannot leave him, but that's the play offensively against Virginia. You get 1-2 dribbles into that gap, and then you kick. Really nicely done by Haggerty.
TJ Power and Ishan Sharma seeing the floor for the first time. There's the freshman Sharma who kept UVA in the game against Bethune-Cookman last week with a career-high 12. Deep shot clock again, Rohde.
The reversal. Freeman, little hesitation. Shot fake, got Murray in the air. Rebound, Buchanan. Ishan Sharma, the freshman from Canada, career high 9 points in this first half. He's been the offense. Rohde on the drive board, saw the mismatch with Sharma guarding him and took it to the basket, just couldn't finish. Saunders setting the screen for Rohde. Teams have been playing off Buchanan of late. Not a threat from the outside. Rohde almost turned it over. Using that 6'6" frame.
In that area this evening.
Ward off the skip pass, air ball, and you can feel the pendulum swing. Rohde, uncontested, and one.
Center's getting touches inside.
Back in your day.
Yeah, right.
And Rohde all the way to the glass. Play. And the largest lead of the game stands at 6 for the Mustangs.
Like I said, they're defending all levels right now very well, but they've really taken the three-point shot away from Virginia. Only 2 makes so far.
That's excellent defense right there.
While they're so long, they can close out from a long way away.
Rohde, little floater off the glass.
Well, guy, 46%, 47% overall, so you want him taking more of the shots from behind the arc.
This is eerily reminiscent of the Florida game. Virginia came out strong, had a lead, and then the Gators went on a 15-2 run. That lead got down to 5 by halftime, but it was all Florida in the second half. McNeely, wide open Rohde, and it's good. Right.
He's a terrific player. He's got a rugged game, like a junkyard dog to him with some skill. He's just really a good player.
Rohde, Saunders.
That averages 72.9 per game to this juncture, but this is the highlight of the Holy Cross schedule from get the test-ins standpoint before this young team tries to make its mark in the Patriot League. McNeely driving. Wide open look from up top, and Rohde's going to knock it home.
Now Virginia up to 3 for 9, while Holy Cross is sitting there at 1 for 6 so far.
Cavaliers shooting right at 40% from beyond the arc so far on the year.
But like you mentioned, at 44% in those wins.
Here's Ames, creating a little separation of his own, and now kicks it off to Sharma. You referenced Sharma into the contest. He kicks this and close the gap as much as possible. He's been a tremendous perimeter shooter for Holy Cross.
Yeah, now you see why Coach Paulson left him in the game with 2 fouls, right?
Yeah, he's got 11 on the board. In addition, as you said, to those couple of fouls. Andrew Rohde, right as 2025, as hard as it may be to believe, is on the horizon.
Rematch from the Florida game from a year ago when they played in Charlotte. Here's Rohde
as he will. Ron Sanchez on hand for 3 of the ACC regular season crowns, 2 of the tournament titles, and 6 of the NCAA appearances in his split time. The 10 years separated into a couple of stints under Tony Bennett here. We talked about it.
There's some talent on this Manhattan roster. You'll see it tonight. Officials are Lee Cassell, Tim Clockerty, and Claire Aubrey. In Virginia, with a little wrinkle in its starting lineup today, Day Ames and Andrew Rohde. 2 ball handlers on the floor. TJ Power will come off the bench.
Virginia wants to make sure that they throw the ball to the guys in the white shirts.
Turnovers have been a problem in the early season. Elijah Saunders. Shot clock at 4. They're comfortable late in the shot clock. And 2007 as the fall away goes. And he knocked off 4 high major teams at Hartford, including Boston College out of the ACC twice.
This is the end where Manhattan really has to tighten it up. Virginia shooting 9 for 12.
And they have their talented freshman in the game. Jacob Coffey, Virginia does, 5 in white. Rohde using the...
This is, they needed a fast start in the second half. They didn't get it. So now they're going to have to just dig down and do what they did in the first half and battle back.
A basket here gives Virginia its largest lead, and Rohde. Opportunity. Shot clock winding down. Bender, the drive. Too much.
Again, I think he might have had a three-point opportunity that he passed up. Now, Rohde was close, but I don't think Rohde's a threat to block his shot out there.
Big size advantage for Kofi. That's Rohde. Manhattan has gone more than 4.5 minutes since its last point, and that drought continues.
But again, if you're not going to move the ball and move your players, you're not going to move the defense. And when you take a tough contested shot, you have no rebounding opportunity.
With those 4 fouls, now Bender open, and he still can't hit. Been a tough game for him, 4 for 12, just 9 points.
And that was wide open. And John Gallagher's telling his guys they don't have to foul. You got to play tough defense. And again, Virginia, they're comfortable playing at the end of the shot clock. You would expect them to do that here. Or not.
Rohde looked like he
ball from side to side. The defense not quick enough shifting. Gives him the open look.
14 makes from out there for St. John's last night. They've hit 3 of their first 4 attempts the first 9 minutes of this game. And Aaron Scott picking up where he left off in that Baylor matchup. Had 5 triples in his 35 minutes off the bench. Getting the starting assignment for St. John's tonight. Day-Day Ames with the shot clock at 5. A catch and shoot. It's Rohde with the response. Much different approach coming out of the break than what we saw last night when they squandered the 14-point halftime lead.
Well, and only one pass to get that wide open look says something about the effort defensively that Virginia is applying right now.
7 trays for St. John's, 2 here in the second half. Ames out to Rohde, and he nails the catch and shoot. Trying to get the triple-double.
Yeah, you got 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and 8 points. So still got 2:48 to do it.
Rohde wraps it in, plus
good athletic ability not only to touch the ball, but to control it enough, bring it down, and go right back up and finish.
4 points, 3 boards, and 6 opening half minutes for Darlin Stone Dubois in his Tennessee debut. A big transfer portal addition for the Volunteers in the offseason. Rohde going baseline, off the glass and in. Only a few seconds separate the shot clock and the game clock. Virginia has a chance to get closer before halftime. In the first half that's seen the Cavaliers shoot at a 26% clip. McNeely resets. 5 on the timer. Around the Buchanan screen. Rohde catch and shoot. It's money.
Wow, long range. Standing and watching. You don't want to stand. That's the easiest player to guard.
Quick trigger from Lanier. Saved in to Tane Murray, the senior. Murray in his 4th season with Virginia. This is his 68th game in a Who's uniform. Rohde on target from long range.
Glad that he's here in Charlottesville. Had a double-double his last time out. He's had 2 excellent scoring games, 16 and 11. But went for a double-double against Coppin State. First double-double by a true freshman for Virginia in 18 years.
Looks like Ron Sanchez putting in Rohde in the game with Day-Day Ames. 2 point guards to handle that pressure that Villanova has brought.
This is Rohde here. Rohde knocks down his first try. He was out.
They got to settle down and just take what the defense gives them and step up and knock down shots with confidence.
Eric Dixon on the bench, and he won't typically be there long. Villanova's best player getting a breather here. Josiah Mosley is on the floor. Moachi back in there. Mosley, the true freshman out of Round Rock, Texas. And here's Rohde, and he hits another 3-pointer.
Anytime someone isolates or gets into the post on the low block, Virginia's going to double team
it's important that Villanova, in those, when that happens, they step up and knock down those open threes.
Virginia's outscored Villanova 18-5 over the last 10 minutes. Villanova just 2 for their last 13. That was just their second made three. Here's Rohde again, feeling it. Okay. By 16, make it 15 after the free throw goes down.
Now, earlier, when the pressure came from Villanova, Virginia struggled surprisingly against this full-court press. So making sure they can beat it, get into their sets, and rely on your execution if you're the Cavaliers.
McNeely leads all scorers with 16. Eric Dixon with 13. Dixon with 7 rebounds as well. Here's Rohde. Rohde, little float game is true. Yes. Longino delivers. Nice setup by Brickus.
And they're starting to get their offense going, but they're extending their defense. Their defense is playing with more energy, more aggression, and it's translating on the offensive end. And they're also speeding up the offense of Virginia. Virginia needs to settle down, work the clock, make sure you get a good shot every possession.
Rohde, another little floater, and it's good. Rohde